right, check that out. That's not a shop wall. That's not a bunch of wrenches sitting on the side. That's Huntington Beach Pier. Surf City, pro shops galore, every kind of hot rod you could possibly imagine, right here within 5 miles. And guess what? That is not a shop boot. So stay tuned, we got a huge car collection. Check it out. Knock, knock.
Hey Brian, how you doing?
You must be Tim.
I'm Tim. Chris said you'd be coming by. How was the beach?
Oh man, it was a great drive. It is an amazing day out there.
Awesome.
Look at this place.
And welcome to Surf City Garage.
Man, this is a really cool place you have. You're not hiring, are you?
Well, you know, you pick up an application at the front.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a little different. We've got a waterfall in the atrium and got an actual surfboard for a boardroom. Chris and Jesse are out back checking out the cars. You're welcome to make yourself at home.
Cool. Awesome. Out that way?
Right through that way.
Sweet. Thank you. Tim told me I'd find you guys in here.
What's
happening?
How you doing, man?
Good to see ya.
For those of you who don't know, CJ, JC, Chris Jacobs, Jesse Combs.
Welcome to Surf City Garage, man.
Yeah.
What a place.
Great to have you
Man,
here.
We're in
It's
the
amazing.
diner part of it right now.
this is not a rough place to work.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Actually, there's some very cool cars in this small room right here. We got 3 Shelbys, we got a couple Boss 302s, we got a little Firebird over there.
Got a
3
gas
Indians.
pump just in case you need to fill up. You got
Exactly,
like some
man.
dudes to work on your stuff.
Got
some Indians.
But let me tell you, this room right here is just a very, very small taste of the entire collection at Surf City Garage.
Not even an appetizer.
You're scaring me.
You're intrigued.
Yeah.
You are
So much
intrigued.
more.
I want to dine. What do you got? Bring it on.
You know what? Let's go check it out. Come on. Well, Brian, now you saw the cars that were in the diner. This is the kind of working garage here at Surf City Garage. These are
Wow.
all the cars that are waiting to be restored.
Shucking me, man. That
No,
is
I am
crazy.
not.
Look at this place.
You can see there's a ton of GTOs back here.
So what's up with this one? This looks like a goat, but isn't.
That's a pretty keen eye. It does look like a goat because essentially it's a fakey goat, you might want to call it. In 1971, the insurance companies pretty much tripled the premiums on the GTOs because they were just too powerful of cars. And John DeLorean at the time, who was the head of Pontiac, wanted to continue making GTOs, so he came up with the idea of the GT37, which is essentially a Le Mans with the GTO running gear in it. Now they were able to get away.
DeLorean's crafty tricks that he pulled.
Yeah, he was able to get away with it for about 1.5 years or so. They made about a few hundred of them before the insurance companies caught on to the GT37 and shut that down.
Now, speaking of John DeLorean, that's actually how the Judge got its name. He was friends with a lot of celebrities, and at the time, Sammy Davis Jr. was on a show called Laugh-In.
Here come the judge. Here come the judge. You know, showing my age there.
Exactly. Well, they used that catchphrase as the name because at the time, the Roadrunner was so catchy that he needed something to basically compete with that. So that's how they came up with the Judge. He actually owns the very first and the very last 1971 Judges because that's probably the most popular year. But how cool is that to own the first and last of that year?
That's pretty wild. Now you don't just do this overnight. I mean,
No.
what's the story behind
Yeah,
this
Surf
thing?
City Garage has got quite a bit of history. In fact, it was established in 1970. That's when the collecting kind of started. And he likes to maintain his cars at the highest level possible. He takes them to a lot of shows. And so when he was trying to find the product that would best shine the cars up, he wasn't really satisfied with anything that was on the market. So he hired a chemist, and he came up with a formula of his own that he was satisfied with. And when he was going around to the shows and his buddy would say, hey, how are you getting your car so shiny? He'd say, well, try a little bit of the stuff that I came up with.
How it
And
usually
everyone
works.
was just blown away.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it was actually like in little bottles with duct tape on it, labeled wax.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So he said, hey, you know what? Why not share this with everybody so that when they go into their auto parts store, they can get the very best stuff. In fact, we like to call it enthusiast grade. It's a little bit higher than your normal grade stuff
Well,
out there.
obviously, his enthusiast grade is a little bit higher than most of ours.
He has a lot of enthusiasm
And he's
for
got
his
a
enthusiast grade.
Yeah, and he's got a huge laboratory here to
To test the
this
product,
stuff
yeah.
on. So
But hang on a second. You've seen the appetizer. We might call this the first course. Let's get to the good
let's
stuff.
chow.
Come on, baby. All right, Brian, so here you go, the Surf City Garage Museum.
Wow.
Isn't it amazing?
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
Now, Hang on though, museum is kind of a misnomer because Tim actually drives all these cars.
He's like a true mechanic. He has a true passion for cars. He flies out and he'll drive it home no matter what shape it is in, praying that it's going to get home, and it's the thrill of it for him.
I don't care what you say. There's not one man that can drive all these cars. He must have a lot of friends, or he needs some new friends.
Well, both. His friends love him, and we are fortunate enough to be his friends. We can drive some of these things. We got, of course, my favorite section, the Mopars here. Got the GMs down the center row.
Corvettes in the upper back corner over there.
This is obviously going to take a while. So right now we got to take a break. More from Surf City Garage. This is incredible. Look at this place. This must be a dream. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. All right, I gotta go find Chris and Jesse.
Yeah, Brian, they're not just about cars. Surf City also is about motorcycles.
Panhead.
Too,
Beautiful
right?
old Harley.
I can see you on that. Sturgis.
Yeah, I think she'd get a little bit of attention at Sturgis riding this
Maybe
thing.
just a little bit. I'll take it if they'll let me. Heck, let's go.
Yeah, you never know. We could work something out.
Now what about this convertible over here?
Oh, well, this is what we like to call the drive-in special. The trunk holds about 3 or 4 bodies. So you can,
Yeah,
all get in
I would
for
say
free.
so. That's like 6 feet across.
Now check this out. The steering wheel on this thing is of particular interest. Normally you see these and there are a whole bunch of cracks in it, especially in the convertibles when the sun's
yeah.
just constantly shining on them. Not a crack in this whole steering wheel.
Yeah, and you know, we try to repair these, we'll grind them out, fill them in, and then repaint in that area. But this one's clear. Can you imagine trying to, you know, fix a repair on a clear surface?
Pretty much impossible. That's the kind of attention to detail that they like to have on their cars here at Surf City. I mean, you really focus on the little things, and this Bonneville is certainly a great example of it.
Well, even though he drives these, they're all very clean. He obviously really takes care of them.
Really does. I mean, you just take a look at all these Chevelles down the center row, you get an idea of the meticulousness of Surf City Garage. Now, this truck right here is a 58 Chevy Stepside Apache. This is kind of the truck that he likes to say started it all. Tim's dad actually bought this new in 1958. He learned how to drive on this truck.
Wow.
Kind of got away from the family. He wanted to get it back, so he found it in a field. When he opened up the glove box, the original registration was in there with his dad's name on it.
Wow. You know, for some reason, there's always like a field or a barn involved.
Hey guys, come check out this Roadrunner.
Oh, yes. Let's go look at some more.
Right? Bench seats, 383, 4-speed.
I like the air grabber.
It's got this here air grabber hood on it.
Now, you may not know this, and when you go in the air grabber, go right down there in the Coyote Duster.
Well, what an air grabber does, to see, Brian, is it takes the air and it grabs it. It's basically where they got the name air grabber.
And you're a master of the obvious.
Yes, my grasp of the obvious is astounding.
Now, one cool feature on the Roadrunners in particular is, of course, the Roadrunner horn. Why don't you
The
go
horn.
give that a little tap
voice
tap?
of the actual Roadrunner itself. Light breeze.
They actually made a deal with Warner Brothers in 1968.
68, yep.
They got the rights to the characters, the cartoon characters, and put them on the Roadrunner, as well as the noise that the Roadrunner horn makes.
That must have cost him a bundle.
Actually came out of a Jeep. To get that horn sound correct, they used a Jeep horn.
Yeah, I think it was worth it though, right?
It was very worth it.
And what's the difference in that one and this one? Since
Well, subtle differences between the 68, this is a 68 GTX versus 69 Roadrunner. There's a couple ways to tell. One is by the headlight bezel. You can see the 68 is a rounded bezel around the headlight, and the 69 has a squared off bezel. The other way to tell are the side marker lights. On the 68, they were round, very small, and on the 69, they were a little bit larger and rectangular. So from a distance, that's a quick way to tell whether it's a 68 or a 69.
Speaking of Roadrunner, beep, beep. Let's go see some other stuff.
So much to see.